ways to leverage technology, and what might look like silly is sometimes actually engaging to our students. Probably comes as no surprise to you that students who are 15 and 16-year-old, world history is not the biggest thing on their mind. Okay, when they come into this room, they are not thinking about, you know, ancient Greece, you know, and the age of Pericles. Bless their hearts, they're full of all sorts of other more current things, and I get that. But what I've been asked to review with you tonight is the learning design in my classroom, learner expectations in my classroom, and a little bit about the teaching environment in my classroom. All of my information is available at Blackboard. Please go there. These handouts, the syllabus, the scope and sequence, a little message from Abe there about technology in my classroom, that's all there. And you can also see the assignments as your learners get them. So about learning design, what Abe was sharing with you on my avatar is true. We are leveraging 21st century technology in my classroom, okay? That means your students will be using their iPads. We will be using, I've got a bank of MacBook Pros back there in that card. I've got 15 of those. We'll be using those sometimes for projects, to do research of different types. There are all sorts of ways that I can convey content to students. We're not using a textbook to convey the content. We're using other resources to convey content. Sometimes it's kind of old school, like a textbook. It'll be literally a printed summary of chapters from the textbook, because we need to be able to read still. We need to still be able to process vocabulary words. We still need to be able to have questions and go find answers. I think that's really important to the success of our students later on. But also, we need to be able to leverage cloud-based resources effectively, okay? And it's been a topic of no small discussion in Coppell, as you're aware. But I'm all about it. I'm all about doing it effectively, okay? So your student may get a paper test from me. They may get a paper project. We already did a paper project in my class, a 10-minute project. Every kid did a project on paper and presented in one class period, and old school, paper and markers, okay? We've already done a major project in the classroom using technology to research things we had already studied, okay? And then present more narrow content to each other in our class, okay? So we'll be doing a lot of that. I'll have major projects that they may be given a week or two or three to process. I may be giving them projects where they have a day or two to develop the content. We'll be doing other activities as well. So with respect to learner outcomes, that's kind of the way I design the learning. With respect to what I'm looking for as outcomes from your student is we've got two categories of activities. Okay, there are categories that are worth at most 25% of the grade, and there are activities that are worth 75% at most of the grade. In the old days, when I was in school, those would be called like tests and homework or quizzes. Does that make sense? Okay, but now we call them formative assessments, okay, which are the smaller percentage grades, and we have summative assessments, often projects and even large tests occasionally. And we're already beginning to walk down that path of getting both those grades. But so those are the learning outcomes in my class. The environment of my classroom is, I mentioned at the beginning that students are not, it's rare I get a student that's really, really interested in history. Okay, it happens. And I was that student in school. I was interested in history. But I have to find ways to engage them in content that they're really, on the face of it, don't see any value in it. So I'm constantly telling them, let's find the value here. We'll study something, we'll talk about it, we'll identify big ideas in history that changed the way people lived life, and then we'll discuss, we'll do different activities to find value in that. How is that valuable? Sometimes there's negative value in ideas in history, by the way. But, and so one of the ways I will engage them in major projects is once in the fall, once in the spring, we'll do a major project in world history. Well, they will look at an era in history through the lens of a career interest. For example, if you look back here on the back wall, several of these projects The aqueduct on the right between the two mountains, the water with the wooden bridge up there on the left, those are from the era of Roman history. That's Julius Caesar's bridge over the Rhine on the left, and that's one of the Rome aqueducts on the right. We're looking at Rome through the lens of engineering, okay? We will also occasionally look at through the lens of medical technology. We'll look through the lens, believe it or not, of media. Even in the Roman era, they had advertising and media. And there will be some other opportunities for students to look at history through some other career interests they might have. So we'll do that once in the fall, once in the spring. Another way that I try to engage the students and get them interested is we often talk about current events in my class. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to get them, one, aware of big ideas, history ideas that are happening right now, okay? And I will be making connections to history as we identify stuff. I don't know if you know, but 3 days ago, the Russians launched strategic bombers and flew them right off the northeast coast of the United States in a place that we know that they plan to launch missiles from if ever we are engaged in that kind of war with them. That was shocking. That was a shocking news article to me. But we talked about the big idea of living in a nuclear world. We're not in the Cold War, but we still live in a nuclear world, right? And technology and warfare, we're going to be studying that in world history. We've already studied how technology rocked the world caused the Neolithic Revolution. But anyway, so I'll be trying to tie things to current events, occasionally looking through the lens of career interest. I wanted to let you know a couple of other more housekeeping type things. One is the best way to contact me is through email, okay? And I'll be putting assignments and information on Blackboard. Please try to familiarize yourself with Blackboard and with your students' courses. One of those courses will be mine. And in the past, we've had teachers using lots of different resources, so you couldn't go to one place. And the administration heard loud and clear to put them all on one system. So you've got one system now. As a parent, that was a big deal to me. Okay, I really couldn't keep track of what was going on multiple sources. So contact me through email. Yeah, look at Blackboard. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thanks.